How many times should you be posting on Instagram if you want to grow? I get this question a lot in my coaching group and also on my Instagram, and people want to know. Well, my name is Michelle Gifford. I'm a brand and marketing strategist. I help you grow online. And this is a really great question. And it's something that you might be confused because people are telling you to post like a million times a week, and other people are telling you to post like a couple times a week. So, what is the strategy there? Well, in this video, I'm going to walk you through what my recommendations are and then why I'm making that recommendation so that you can start implementing it into your business right now. So let's first start talking about the two extremes. One is you should post 3 times a day. Now, this is really great advice if you have a team and if you are also only a content creator. If you create content for like your business, and that's it, then yeah, 2 or 3 times a day is a good idea. It's actually what I am doing right now in my business, but I have a team that helps me with like my graphics and my comment control. But if you do not have a team, you're doing a lot of the other things, right? You are creating the product, packaging, shipping, managing your Facebook group. You're doing all of these things by yourself. And the thought of creating 2 or 3 pieces of content a day can get really, really overwhelming. And it probably gets you so you don't want to do it anymore. So that's on one side of the extreme. Post 2 or 3 times a day. If you can do that, great. But if it's overwhelming, do not do that. And the other side of the extreme is to post 2 or 3 times a week. Now, this is a good start, but if you are really wanting to grow on Instagram, you're going to need to post more often. That's also great advice for someone who already knows their niche, who already understands their audience, who already knows what kind of content is working in their niche. If that is you and you understand really on a deep level all of those things, then yeah, 2 or 3 times a week will work. I have a client who actually for the first 2 years of her business, she just was trying to grow a following online. And so she would post consistent content every day that was high quality. And now that she has a substantial following and she knows her audience really well, she knows what content works, she's scaled back to do less than a post every day. And that can work if you know your audience and you know your content. If you want to grow, I recommend posting every day or 6 days a week. You can take 1 day off. I recommend posting 6 days a week for 5 main reasons. And we're going to go through those because I think if you can understand those, then it'll give you the motivation to actually create more content. And make sure that you stick around to the last one because it is the one that is most important. Number 1 is that you are going to get better at creating content. I know for me, when I started creating on YouTube, when I started creating on Instagram and my first podcast, those first episodes, those first times going live were not that great. And your first pass at creating content is not going to be amazing and awesome. You're going to get better, but you're not going to get better until you create more and more of that content. And it really is going to come down to you practicing. And the more you post, the more practice you get at creating content. And so if you're only posting a couple times a week, it's going to take you a lot longer, actually twice as long, to get good at creating content compared to you creating content every day. Number 2 is you teach the algorithm who you are faster. So the algorithm on Instagram, on TikTok, all of these places are trying to figure out what kind of content you create so that it can put your content in front of someone who is looking for your content. And so it's taking in all the information from the pieces of content you create and trying to understand, oh, this lady, she talks about Instagram a lot. So then when it understands my content, it can start putting my content in front of the right people. And if you're only posting a couple times a week, it's going to take a little bit longer for Instagram to understand what kind of content you create on a regular basis, and then it takes longer for it to show you in other people's feed. And so creating more content that is high quality is going to help the algorithm understand you faster. Number 3 is that you get more data about your audience. When people are just starting out, when you're just starting out or you're growing or maybe you're pivoting, you have a sense of who your audience is, but you don't know them until you start creating content for them and seeing how your content is affecting them and seeing what kind of content is working. And you won't know that until you create more content. And so don't get too sad about creating a post and it not getting a lot of traction. We are going to use it as data points, right? We have more data to understand what kind of content our person loves to engage with and consume. And so the more content you create, the faster you can understand your audience because there's more content for you to look at and analyze to see what is working. And if you are feeling stuck with your content and you need a little extra boost, I have 131 hooks that you could start using right now. It's a free guide. You can download it right now and get started. I use use this whenever I'm stuck. I use one of these hooks and it makes such a big difference. Click the link below and sign up for it. Reason number 4 is more content gives you more chances to be seen by more people and to go viral, right? To get more eyes on your content. If you're posting 2 pieces of content a week, you're only giving yourself 2 chances to get in front of people. And if you are creating more content, you have an increased chance of getting in front of more people. So then you can look at your content as more of a number game, right? If I create more and I understand more, then I can start creating more of the content that is resonating better and is more likely to get seen by more people. But if you're only posting a couple times a week, it's going to take a lot longer for you to understand that. And the last one, which is my favorite and also the hardest, is if you post every day, it is teaching you consistency. And that is actually the key to your success on any social platform is consistency. You're probably not going to have success the first time you post. Your first video here on YouTube is not going to go viral. And thank goodness, aren't we so glad that that is true? Because our first piece of content is not our best piece of content. And we need some reps, right? We need to get into the habit of creating content. And so if you commit and are determined to show up every day and create a really valuable piece of content for your audience, that not only is proving to you that you can be consistent, but it's also proving to your audience that you are serious about this growth thing. And then you're creating valuable content and they're sharing that content and you're getting and growing more and more. I know consistency is the hardest thing. And if you need extra help with that, I have a coaching group called Insta Money Makers, and we give you a monthly content plan and prompts and the audios that you can use for your reels. So that's really going to help you grow your audience because you can plan your content a lot faster because we do it for you. So if you're ready to join Insta Money Makers, you can go to imichellegifford.com/Insta-Moneymakers. We would love to have you because you also get coaching, community, and access to all of my courses. If you really want to grow on Instagram or any other platform, then more content is going to be more beneficial to you. It'll help you grow faster and better. And it also is going to make a content creator out of you. And content creation is the key to marketing in the future. So you better get good at it now. All right. Thank you so much for joining me, and we will see you next time.